So it's been a few weeks since we've been able to ride together.
It has been.
Yeah, 2 in fact.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
And do you know the funny thing about this is that we promise that we will do it all the time and that we'll make it a number one priority. But actually life does get in the way, doesn't it? And we can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It is sad. But, we do both have day jobs.
Yeah.
And
I went on a holiday.
You went on a holiday.
So that's okay.
Sometimes we have to prioritise our day jobs.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to prioritise our holiday.
Yeah, that's very true.
And you went on an amazing holiday.
Oh, I did. I went to a place called Pumpkin Island, which is off the coast of Yeppoon in central Queensland. It's the southern end of the Great Barrier Reef. And we hired a big family. It was 26 of us hired at the island, Pumpkin Island. And so it was so fun. It's a little eco resort. So you have to, kind of work around gas and water pumps and all that sort of stuff. But it was just magic. And, how lucky are we in Queensland?
I know. It's the most beautiful place in the world, isn't it?
We are so lucky. I was paddleboarding over just this vibrant blue coral, and we were just kayaking in crystal blue water, and it's the best time to go because there's no stingers and box jellyfish and all those scary creatures that are the reason why our beaches are so pristine.
And you're getting away from the freezing Brisbane winter.
Yeah, and I heard there were like all sorts of hailstorms and things while we were gone, and we didn't get any of that. We were on just this little tropical paradise. But I missed riding, and I was so sore after last Thursday
because you were back after a week and a half.
Oh my gosh! And you were so generous because you weren't able to come to that lesson because you had a work commitment. Didn't you?
I had a work commitment, so I couldn't do it. Yeah. So I had a lesson on my own, and then you had a lesson on your own.
Yeah. So what did you do in your lesson? Was it fun?
Well, actually, I didn't ride in my lesson. We did some liberty work. Yeah. So
not like, come, Lainey, come.
No, I told Tracy about that, and I said, look, it didn't really work, so perhaps you could help me, work out how to get my horse to follow me around and to build that connection.
Yeah.
Without, calling him in a high voice like my kids call my dogs.
So is that doing the join up with the?
Yes. So Tracy connected with him first, and then sort of handed over to me, and it was challenging. You have to be very, very patient, and I think Lainey and I are still building that connection. It's not, it's very apparent we have one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's the strength of it is not there yet. I mean, we've only been together, for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful to do when he did come and follow me and walk around with me. That was great.
Yeah.
I couldn't get him to trot without Tracy sort of, moving behind.
Yep. When you started running on the ground.
When I started running, I'd sort of leave him behind. And I was like, come on, Lainey. Tracy's like, no, that's not what you do.
It's just these horses, why aren't they just like giant dogs?
I know.
Honestly. That's so funny.
Well, I do think of him a bit like a golden retriever.
You do.
So.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but maybe like shifting that a little bit more into horse retriever.
Yes. Yes, but it was successful in the end. It's
so
the
cute.
Start of our liberty journey, and I think that's a journey I really want to take with him. I mean, ideally, at some point in the future, I'd love to be able to ride him without, like, in a bitless bridle.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to be able to jump bareback.
No, while shooting a bow and arrow.
Like Lisa Wiley, who we spoke to a few episodes ago.
Yes. No, me neither.
But, so that was my lesson. But then you rode Lady again.
I did.
Second
you
time
were
round.
So sweet.
Oh, he's just such a beautiful boy.
He is, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, I saw some of the video. You looked amazing.
I did, what did I do? Lateral, what's it called when it's like lateral movement or something? So, and you've been doing those serpentines, which is the big circles getting into the smaller ones. Yeah. And then he was just so responsive when I was pushing him out and Tracy would be like, he just did a lateral movement on you. And so I was like, and you can feel it because all of a sudden he's moving like sideways out instead of his sort of bum moving first or whatever. He's so clever. Cantering.
Yes.
Cantering Lainey still scares me, if I'm being honest.
Cantering Lainey sometimes scares me too.
Yeah, okay. So I was transitioning him from walking, and then Tracy said, just canter him from a walk And I was like, okay. Didn't.
And didn't work.
So he did a couple of steps of trot and then bounced into canter but was on the wrong leg. So I had to pull him up. He didn't want to pull up at that point. And I have this weird fear of cantering on the wrong leg around a corner. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. So I was really trying to pull him up before we got to the end of the arena in the corner. And when I feel fear, I've realized I go like a peg.
Yeah.
And so I went stiff, and Tracy's like, you're not going to pull him up in a straight line.
Yeah.
Why are you not turning him?
Yeah.
But I was scared to turn him because he was on the wrong leg. So it was this whole like little brain kerfuffle that I just had.
Isn't it funny what's going on in your head? There's so much happening.
Split seconds.
Yeah.
In absolute split seconds. And then we turned the corner and I did it again.
Yeah.
And he cantered well, and that was all lovely. And then I went to do it again, and it was like I'd turned on Laney's button.
Yeah, his go switch.
His go switch was on. So he went from being like really calm, Laney, to like, oh, I'm anticipating that you're going to canter. Yeah. And so I was like, no, we're not going to do that again. We're not going to do that again. I did it one more time, and then I was like, and that's all I can take today. Let's move back into trot. Thanks, Laney. And he was really good. But I don't know. And it's so funny because when I watch back the videos, it does not look fast.
It doesn't.
What is it about him? He feels fast when is it his head or something? Like,
I think it's fast.
It is fast. Between you and I and our podcast listeners, it's fast.
It's fast. It's very fast.
And he's just got get up and go about him.
Yeah.
So when he wants to go, you can really feel it on him.
He wants to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not actually doing anything wrong.
No.
He's sort of just being extra responsive.
Yeah.
And he's forward in that time, hey?
Yes, yes. And then it is like, so Tracy keeps on telling us that you have to slow him through your body.
Yeah.
My body's just going too fast.
Yes. Well, she did get me to do this breath work thing, which was quite interesting. I took a deep breath and held my breath for a second, and he slowed. Oh. But that was in trot.
Yeah.
I would not have the capacity to do that in canter. Yeah, I held my breath for like a split, like it felt like a bit, but she reckons it was like a split second.
Yeah.
Held my breath, and then he sort of slowed his trot for a second. Don't know how that worked, but anyway, it seemed to. Oh, and then I held as if I was holding a rose.
Yeah.
And then stopped and then kept going. Yeah, it was really, so we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe we just
stop breathing. Replicate it. Just stop breathing. Just stop breathing while you're on a horse. It's pretty much what I feel like I do every time I get on a horse for a moment. I'll stop breathing,
but not by choice.
Not by choice.
That's
by fear.
Holy shit moment.
Yes, my holy shit moment. You did get back out in the paddock with him though after our
I did. Yes, I did.
Paddock time that we had.
I did. Yeah. I went out with another girl who rides at the centre.
Yeah, you cheated on me. It's okay.
I cheated on you, but only once.
I'll accept it.
And we got out into the paddock, and I just thought we'd wander around, and all of a sudden I was looking over to the right hand side, and I turned back, and she was off. She'd gone for a little canter.
Oh, had she?
And I went, well, if she can do it, I can do it.
And off you went.
And off I went.
So good.
And so we just did a little bit of cantering in the paddock, but just away from the gate.
Yeah.
Away from the gate every time, so there wasn't that temptation to turn around and race back.
Yeah, and you felt okay about that?
Yeah.
So you got your bravery a little bit more by doing that again.
Yeah. Only a couple of times, but still.
Yeah, but still.
Better than nothing.
What is it called? Like building blocks, like just little steps, hey?
Yeah, it makes all the difference.
It does. So we're not riding again together until next week.
No, I know.
So I've got one more ride on your boy before I then
go to ride Laney again.
Do you want me to ride Laney again?
I do want you to ride Laney.
All right, I shall ride Laney again.
Because it's my turn to go on holiday.
Yeah, you're going on holidays. Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do it. If I have to.
Okay, we got a deal.
And I'll be braver this time because I'll just realize that he's not actually going that fast. So that's what I'm going to tell myself in my head. Yeah. I shall report back.
Yeah, let me know how you go. Don't do any canter poles because he does go very fast over canter poles.
I'm definitely not doing canter poles. He's so beautiful though. He's just a delightful boy. We love you, Laney.
Yeah, we do.
Love you, Laney. So this week we've got a couple of guests lined up throughout the month ahead. But this week we're just having a chat between you and I. Yeah. And we had promised to do this episode, which is around fertility and the whole IVF journey, which you went through. Yeah. And I'm just going to have a chat to you about it and you share what you're happy to share, really, about it. But
I think there's a lot of people that are going through it. And
That's right.
When I was going through it, not a lot of people were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to change.
I agree. And you went through it in your 40s.
I did, yes.
And that is becoming more of a trend, right? That people are having kids later in life, and there are fertility issues that do pop up, or somebody hasn't met the right person in their 30s, or they've gone through a separation and found a new partner, or whatever the case is, that it is happening later. And I know there's a lot of discussions out there around, you know, whether you should freeze eggs earlier if you haven't hit that fertility circuit by a certain point, or whatever the case is. So I don't know, what's your view on all of that? What do you think?
Well, I was told at 38 that my eggs were too old to freeze, which I've since found out is not the case.
Right.
And would have made my journey a lot easier.
Right.
So I didn't freeze any eggs.
Yeah.
I met this wonderful man who I'm now married to at 38.
Yeah.
And we decided we were going to, you know, try and have kids together. So I fell pregnant with my first child at 41.
Naturally. Yep.
And then slowly but naturally.
Yep.
And then decided that we were going to try very rapidly for the second, because I was already early 40s. And it just wasn't working. I just wasn't falling pregnant. And so we decided we were going to start the IVF journey because of my age.
Yep.
And we didn't have any time to waste. And so we started it. And it was the most difficult time in my entire life.
My goodness.
It was just such a difficult period of time in so many ways.
And what made it difficult?
Well, we did 5 rounds, all of which were unsuccessful.
And for people who don't understand rounds, what is a round?
So you basically, it's when you take, you're given fertility drugs to increase the chances of you falling pregnant.
Okay.
And then your eggs are taken out. They are then fertilized outside, and then they're put back in.
Okay, so that's a round to complete a round.
Of IVF.
Right.
And then obviously if you fall pregnant from that, you fall pregnant.
Yeah.
And if you don't fall pregnant, your normal cycle happens.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, very expensive to do. The fertility drugs impact different people in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, some people get very emotional, some people get very angry, just different things for different people. They weren't too bad for me. I didn't have any really strong reaction to the fertility drugs.
Yeah.
But the difficult part of it was when you get your period after you've been through a round. It was absolutely devastating, because immediately it hadn't worked. And whatever you were putting in your pockets, different amounts of money, depending on where you go, it might be 20,000, might be 40,000, you know, whatever it is. Obviously the money is part of the journey. And it hasn't worked. So you're not going to have a baby. And that's a very, very emotional time for anybody that's going through IVF. And if you're going through later in life, which a lot of people do, you know, you're short on time.
Yeah. So there's more anxiety around as the time goes on.
Yeah, whether or not it's going to work and all of those sorts of things. Now, I was working full-time while I was going through these. And unfortunately, more often than not, when I realised it hadn't worked, would be right. So we haven't really talked about, you know, what we do in any great detail. But I've been a journalist for many years, and I was a TV presenter for a long time.
Yeah.
And I would do 3 hours of live TV pretty much every single day.
Oh my God, 3 hours every day.
3 hours every day,
wow.
Monday to Friday. And I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Met so many interesting people, just conversations all day.
And you specialise in finance and international finance, don't you?
Yeah. Best job ever. It was just fabulous. But during this particular period in my life, I would quite often, in fact, I think probably 4 out of the 5 times, found out that it hadn't worked in the middle of a show.
Oh, God.
And then you had to, like, all you wanted to do is, you know, sort of break down.
Yeah. So you'd go for a bathroom break and there's your period, and then you have to go back on air.
Back on air and put my happy face on and, you know, sit through 3 hours of live TV. And it was incredibly difficult.
But also, like, that level of professionalism, that's incredible as well.
Oh, it's just so hard. It was
But to push through that, I mean,
you just
have to. Game face.
You just have to. And then I'd literally run off set at the end of those days and go home and just, you know, I'd be in tears by the time I got in the taxi home.
Yeah.
You know, it was just it was very, very difficult. But then what was also happening was because the emotion was so high over that, because you don't sort of finish around and go straight into the next one. You have to take a break. Your body has to readjust. You have to be emotionally ready to go again. All of those sorts of things. That there was a 3-year period which was just full of pain. And it made, because I was going through so much pain all the time, I wasn't a very nice person during that period of time.
Which sounds wrong, because you are a really nice person. So that you must have known that wasn't you, right? Yeah. Is there support in place mentally? Is there support that they offer you when you're going through IVF?
No, not very that clinical. I'm aware of. Yeah,
felt very clinical.
Yeah.
So it's so clinical. It's these processes that you have to go through, but the emotional side of it is just what has the biggest impact on you, really. And there's not the support there for that, which seems wild, right?
Well, not many people, unless you've been through this fertility journey, really understand it.
Yeah.
It's the pressure of everything that goes into going, doing a round of IVF and all of those sorts of things, and then it not working. If you haven't been through it, it's quite difficult to understand.
Yeah.
There's many other things that women go through, miscarriages and all of those sorts of things, which are heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And that's a similar sort of emotion, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, to go through that, to be living internationally.
Yeah, well, that's right. You were overseas at the time, right?
I was living overseas at the time.
So your immediate support network wasn't there. So your closest friends and your family weren't nearby. You really had to rely on just your husband.
Yeah.
But you had another baby at the time, right?
Yeah.
So then you've then got to come home and have that family time, and I imagine try and focus on that baby boy.
And interestingly enough, because I did have my oldest son, I had a lot of people saying, well, at least you've got one.
Yeah.
At least you've got one.
Yeah.
It's not about the one. It's about the second one that you want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And for those people out there who are only children and don't have brothers or sisters, and I've got a few friends, they're wonderfully well-adjusted people, and they've got usually amazing relationships with their parents because there's only one of them and all of those. But I'd grown up in a family of 3 kids, and I really wanted my child to have that, have that friendship with another sibling. And so I'd put a lot of pressure on myself to make this happen. And then you start thinking, well, should I have started earlier? Is this all my fault? And, all of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, I went through this period where I'd started recognizing I wasn't being a very nice person, put a lot of pressure on my relationship with my husband.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure. He was so supportive, so wonderful throughout the whole thing. And every time I'd say, I want to try again, he'd sort of say to me, are you sure? Are you sure you can put yourself through this for another round? And I'd be like, yes, I can.
God, that would have been so hard for him to sit back and watch
it. That, yeah.
For you feel very helpless in that.
Well,
right?
It was, after the 4th round didn't work, and I came home from work that day, and I went and I just collapsed on the kitchen floor in tears. Like I was absolute mess, and I didn't think anybody was home. So, it was all fine. My beautiful helper had my son, and she'd taken him to the park, and I knew they were going to be out. And my husband came back from wherever he was and walked in and was just like, we've got to stop. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's that. Okay, well, I'm going to talk while you
pull myself together.
No, not pull yourself together. Work through that, because this is heavy stuff, right? But you're I'm sure in a very typical male way, he would have wanted to fix that, because that's what they want to do, right? Like, I know when us women, we like to talk around things. We like to just chat about all the parts and figure out the things, and men can, I know with my own husband, I'm saying, but I know what the solution is. It's to stop, or it's to change course, or it's to whatever. But I actually want to work through the parts of it with you.
Yeah.
He would have seen you in that state and gone, I need to fix this. I need to help. I need to do what I can. How helpless and how hard for him to see you in that position.
It was giving up a dream. Like, if I'd stopped, I would be giving up this dream I had. I'd always wanted 2 kids.
Yeah.
And life had just gotten in the way. There was no real reason why I hadn't started trying for children earlier. It was just the way life happened.
Yeah.
And
did you always want to be a mum?
Always wanted to be a mum, 100%. There was never any doubt in my mind I was going to be a mum. And I'd always wanted 2 to 3 children.
Yeah.
And it was giving up the dream. And I said to him then, I just want one more go.
Yeah.
I just want one more go. And then I agree. Then we'll stop.
Yeah.
So we had one more go. And it
So number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And he said, we need to stop. And we started talking about adoption at this particular point in time. And he'd agreed that, you know, we could go down that path. And so we started going down that path. And he basically said to me, we can't do both.
Yeah.
So we stopped trying. And even whether or not we're doing a roundup IVF, if we're just trying on our own, we stop trying and we adopt, or we keep trying.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't think you've got many more goes in you. This is killing you.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And I can't watch it. And I said, yep, okay, we'll pause the adoption because I couldn't let go of that dream.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went away on holiday and I said to him, we'll stop trying next month. That'll be it. You know, we've got to. Can't do this anymore. It is killing me. You're right. And it's putting so much pressure on us. It's not the right thing to do. And then my second son came along.
Isn't that crazy? That just gives me chills.
Yep.
So with IVF?
Without IVF.
Without IVF.
It was natural. Yeah. Yeah.
So was he just meant to be?
He was just
that was
to
his
be.
time.
He was just meant
What?
to be. And, you know, a lot of people say, IVF puts so much pressure on you and you step away from that and that's when you fall pregnant. I don't know whether or not that was the case. We were on holiday. We had a fabulous holiday and then we got a baby.
Did you get really drunk?
Did get really drunk.
Yes. There you go. Rite of passage. I mean, just to go through all of that and then, I mean, to have that happen at the end.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Like, did it make you angry? Did it make you relieved? Were you just so happy
it
didn't matter? Were you terrified? Were you terrified of anything going wrong at that point? Or like it was too
just so relieved.
My God.
So relieved. And, you know, meeting all the milestones and doing all the testing and did all of that. And I was just so grateful.
My God.
Yeah. And then this beautiful little boy came along and it was quite funny. I was prepared I'd had a natural birth with my first. I was prepared to do that again.
Hang on, wait. Because you're a journalist, I think you need to tell the story of how you went into labour with your first.
No, that was my second.
Oh, was that with your
That was
second?
the
Oh, my
second.
gosh.
Yes.
Okay, so story continues.
Yes. So I was ready to let it happen and I went into work I thought I'd work straight up as close to having the baby as I possibly could so I could get more time on the other end with my maternity leave.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to work this day normally, got on set, you know, had my hair and makeup done, got on set, started the show, did the first hour, went into an ad break and went, this is an interesting feeling. I think I'm not really sure. I'll just keep going. Did another 20 minutes and then went into an ad break and I actually said to my producer, is my colleague out there? Can he come on set and finish the show? Because I think I probably need to go and have a baby. And they were like, oh, my God, get on set. Yep, go.
Go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital.
And how many hours later was he born?
About 5 hours later. 5 hours later.
So good. So went into labour on air.
On air.
See, this is what I'm saying. Your professionalism is just beyond.
And then drove to the hospital and
5 hours later you got a baby.
5 hours later I was holding my son.
Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful story.
And my hair was great.
Hair was done.
My hair was great.
Of course, all the photos, beautiful photos. So coming back to the IVF side of things, why didn't you tell or who did you tell that you were going through it and why didn't you tell people?
It's a really good question. My immediate friends and family knew, of course.
Immediately? Like, did you tell your friends straight away that you were about to start it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So close friends?
My close friends.
Yeah.
I didn't tell the people I was working with, which I probably should have.
Okay.
Because of this period of time where I was so emotionally stressed and upset all the time, and worried and concerned and all of those emotions that you go through. And as I said, I don't think I was a very nice person. After I did fall pregnant, I did actually go back to my team and apologise.
See, you are such a nice person.
I don't think I've been a very nice person over the last little while, and this is why.
And how were they? How did they receive
amazing.
that?
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They were like,
not many people get apologies for bad behaviour, so I think that's pretty decent.
Well, they did say, I don't think you're quite as bad as you think you were. So, you know.
Yeah.
But they were very gracious. I probably should have told them, but I just felt like that was very private, and, you know, all of that.
Do you think sometimes as women, I think we want to have a really clear divide between personal and professional, and more so men seem to be able to generally just do that better.
Yeah.
But the moment I feel like women can blur those lines a little bit, it opens too much of a Pandora's box or something.
Yeah.
And I'm interested, I mean, I don't know what the answer is with that, but I just find that disclosing too much personal information is just not our sort of natural state, because we want to be seen as professional, and you don't want to be necessarily in those environments where they are often heavily male dominated or glass ceilinged with men executives, which I could imagine, you know, the journalistic life is like a lot of the time. You're pushing through a lot of those barriers.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen as necessarily the motherly, the needy mother that wants to have another baby space. You want to keep your brand as your professionalism. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah. 100% yes. And I do think now, I mean, less so.
Yeah.
Less so for me now, because as you get older, you recognize that all of your experiences have value.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you better or worse at your job that you're, you know, going through all the things that you've gone through. And, you know, like this, talking about this openly.
Yeah.
This is not a secret.
Yeah.
Not a secret. I still have a career. I'm still a professional person.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to talk about this now, because I want it to help. My experience is to help people.
Yeah.
And the same way that you opened up with your postnatal depression.
Yeah.
An incredibly vulnerable story, but I think people listening to that episode would have just gone, oh, I'm not alone, and these things have happened to other people, and look at her now, look at how she's pulled through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think not feeling alone in those circumstances, and I've had friends who I have known somewhat during, but I think quite late in the process, finding out that they were going through IVF, and some after the fact. And one or two during, like quite from the beginning, that I knew they were having trouble. But what I would like to know from someone who's been through it is, what's the best way to support someone through that? I mean, I'm guessing saying comments like, be happy with one is not a great way to support someone.
No, not really.
At least you have one.
At least you have one.
Probably wouldn't hit the mark.
No.
But what could people do to help people?
You can just, the only thing you can do is hold their hand. And, you know, be there for them.
Yeah.
Let them talk. Let them cry. You know.
Go through the loss with them.
Go through the loss. Yeah. Go through the hope, you know.
Yeah. It must be such a roller coaster.
It's such a roller coaster, and understand if they cancel on the dinner, or, you know, don't want to do whatever they've planned because of whatever it is. The fourth round I went through, I actually flew to Sydney, and I found out that I was not pregnant in Sydney because they didn't get a viable egg.
Oh, right.
So I hadn't even gone through the whole process. But bearing in mind, I was 42, 43 years old while I was doing this. So they were working with older eggs. I didn't get a viable egg. I was supposed to meet a friend for dinner that night. And I went to my hotel, packed my bag, and got on the plane and went back home to Singapore, which was where I was living at that time. Straight away, didn't even think about it, completely forgot that I was supposed to be.
Oh.
It was not front of mind.
Yeah, of course.
And I had a text message from her the next day saying, a few from that night saying, I'm here at the restaurant. Where are you? When are you arriving? What is going on?
And your phone's turned off because you're on an international flight?
Exactly. And, of course, she was like, no, I completely understand. It's all fine.
Oh, bless.
You know?
Yeah.
It shows the depth of that emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. You just couldn't, you just blanked anything else out of that. You needed to just get home and exit the situation.
Need to be at home with my son and my husband.
Yeah.
Just need to be at home.
Did it distract you from your time with your firstborn? Or do you think that brought you more joy having him?
I think
He
probably
kept you
that.
going?
I think I paid more attention
Yeah.
to the joy I was having.
Yeah. See, that's amazing.
Yeah. But I tell you what it did do after my second son was born, all of those hours. I mean, anybody that's, had babies and been up to all hours in the morning, with their sort of newborn or
Yep.
12-month-old or whatever it is until they're sleeping more. That's tiring, right? It's exhausting as a mum, and you hear them start to, sort of make a little bit of noise and like, oh no, I've got to get up and, I loved that with my second because I knew it would be my last. There was no way I was putting myself or my husband through that again.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be the last time that I did it. And so every time I'd hear him in the night, I'd bounce up.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be like, oh, I'm coming to see you, babe.
Oh,
that
that's
was
a beautiful story.
Yeah. Whereas, you just.
I was like, you've woken up again. I did not have appreciation because do you remember my story about my second waking up every half an hour?
Do.
I don't know if you would have been bouncing out.
I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have if it was every half an hour. I don't think I would have at all.
Every half an hour, Oriel, every half an hour. Just think about that night after night after night.
There would be no bouncing. There would be no bouncing. I'd be like, this is definitely my last.
I just didn't go to sleep was the answer. Just stay awake.
Yeah.
Have a coffee at 11 p.m.
Well, you can't drink through that either because you've got to breastfeed.
It's so cruel, this world.
Isn't it ever?
So cruel. And did you and your husband come to a place of, did you get to a good place with it at the end of it all after what you'd been through together?
Yeah.
Did it make you stronger together?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it gave me some significant appreciation for how much he'd gone through while I was looking inward for a lot of that time. Like it's, I've failed, it's failed. I don't have what we need, all of those things. Whereas for him, as you pointed out earlier, he was just watching it all happen, and
a bystander
and very difficult for him to watch because it was such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But we got out the other end and here we are.
Other end with two beautiful boys
boys.
A happy life, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And that little boy was supposed to be here, right? Yep. He was just coming in his own time.
He was like, I'll come when I'm ready. Thanks.
Yeah. Don't push this.
Yeah, don't push this.
And are they great little siblings now?
They are.
Yeah.
They're like siblings. They
as they should.
Fight, and then you just see them walking together, having these little conversations, the 6 and 9, they're chatting away. And
so cute.
One of them's going off doing something else and the other one will say, when are they coming home?
My mum always said that siblings come along and knock the sides off the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's true, right?
Yeah.
You may fight, it grows you as a person to have a sibling to, keep you grounded.
Yes, like your girls, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They have their nice little squabbles.
Yes.
But it's pretty cute.
It
and
is.
They do, then they repair quickly. And I think that's a beautiful part about siblings is the repair
100%.
that occurs with them and learning those skills to do that.
Yeah.
And, I'm with you. I know some absolutely wonderful single children as well.
Yeah.
So, there's space for everyone in the world, but it's just what feels right for your family.
Yeah.
Last question, any advice to anyone going through it? What would you do differently or what would you tell them?
That's a really hard question because I would not want to go through that again, but even though I went through it, I have a baby, whether it was through it or not. A lot of IVF rounds are successful. If you can do it and you can put yourself through that, then do it, absolutely.
Yep.
But be ready for the journey and potentially be more ready than I was. Get your support network around you. Have a time frame in mind, ideally, and if it hasn't worked by then, make sure that your head's around all of that.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantees, in this life, and there's no guarantees it's going to work.
Yeah.
And, if you can be better prepared for all of that than I was.
Yeah. And would you listen to the advice of freezing your eggs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can while you're younger and you want to, do it.
Yeah.
Even at 38. Because if I'd frozen my eggs at 38, it would have been potentially an easier journey than using 42, 43-year-old eggs.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Good on you.
That was a bit emotional. Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. I'm just so impressed that you were able to articulate through a lot of that because that's years of emotional trauma, actually, isn't it? And a lot of working through so much, and the fact that you can talk about it and it's okay to get emotional. It's a highly emotional topic. I think you're very brave, and
thank you.
Good on you for helping other people if they're going through it, because it's all we want to do is just shed light on things that others
are going through as well,
and so they don't feel alone. And there's people out there. So you're amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your beautiful boys are amazing.
They are amazing. They are amazing.
So gorgeous. Well, so that's the end of this episode.
It is. Yeah.
But next week we have a guest that we will disclose next week, and we've got a pretty busy couple of weeks coming up with guests. So
yes, we do.
Some fun topics ahead.
We do.
So thank you, Oriel. You're amazing.
Thank you. So are you. We'll see you all next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.